Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. As promised, today I'm going to show you the 6 build that I made for Vignweek 2022. The prompt for the last building day was to build an iconic Star Wars scene, but recreated as if it was part of a classic Lego theme before 2000. So my choice went to the Jedi Training between Luke and Yoda, created in the style of Lego Castle, in particularly Forestmen. What came out is this, which is a sort of mix between two recent Lego sets, the Dagobah Jedi Training diorama and the Forest Hideout gift with purchase. Now let's just dive into this build. I'm going to show you all the different parts and different part usage and building techniques. Let's start from the minifigs. So here I decided to use two different skin tones to represent the different species of the two characters. So here we have Luke, for which I use the flesh tones, and Yoda, for which Yoda in the time of Lego Castle, for which I use yellow. In this case, basically, I use a old man minifigure red, and I use parts of the elf from the Elf Clubhouse Winter Village, and from the recent minifigure, the Forest Elf, that came with the recent collectible minifigure series. While here I have a classic Forestman torso. In that set, we also had a third character, which was R2-D2. And so to create something that can fit in the theme, I try to create a sort of short creature. This is also from a collectible minifigure, which is actually one of the monster collectible minifigure. I'm using only the torso. I flip the arms over to create something that is more or less the height of R2-D2 compared to the other characters. I don't know exactly what kind of creature this would be, but I think it works okay for this scene. Now let's move on to this swamp, on which I had to add something coming up from the water. Of course, I cannot add a starship because we are talking castle, but I decided to add a sort of cart. So they are digging up this sort of wall cart with a treasure inside. As you can see, I also tried to add some details, some lime debris coming off from the bottom. Only thing that I'm not super happy about is this. So basically, to create the half wheel, I just used two of these quarter tiles that are sitting there on the edge of the diorama, on the vignette. So this is the only thing that is not actually connected properly. Actually two, later I will show you one more. But I think the final effect was quite good. Now removing this, you can have a better sense of the layout. So of course here we have a very simple base this time. So we have one plate, one brick, one tile to create the edge of this diorama, and over here I added a shield to make it a little bit more thematic. This is connected with some modified plates inside underneath this. Over here, of course, I went with some lime, and then at the bottom, and then top it off with some transparent tiles, and then very simple green and dark green terrain. Nothing very difficult here. What I wanted to do is to try to create a sort of mist effect. So that's why at the back here I added this part. I'm not sure actually, I don't remember from where this part is from. I use it already in a few of my builds, including my Santa lake house that you can find on Lego Ideas. And another thing I wanted to add is some of this mushroom. This for two reasons. Reason one, I wanted to use this mushroom that came with the Forestmen minifigure that are pretty nice. This one is the other one that is sitting there loose. The rest is all connected. So these are actually have a smiley face, but I decided to turn them around. And then, as you can see, I tried to do a different kind of base from this mushroom, bigger, shorter, skinnier, to create a little bit of variety. And then I add also this tiny one in dark red because I wanted to use this actually minifigure red. So this is a dark red minifigure red that come with the air connected to it. And I thought it really looked like the top of a mushroom. I just needed to find a way to hide a little bit the air at the back. So that's why I decided to add it over there. And from the right perspective, it really looked like a mushroom and we cannot see the airpiece at the back. Now, here I needed to create a sort of little hut. So this went very simple and straightforward. I built some measuring brick in light gray. I added one of these on the side to make it a little bit more thematic. At the time, I think in the Forest Hideout set also we have something like that, so the archers can practice. Anyway, I create a little arch entryway, while at the back I wanted to create a wooden door, so just simple sideways technique with some tiles, and then I use the lightsabers here as door handles. This is pretty straightforward and I think it works out pretty well. On top here I added a flag because these also come often with these Castle Forestmen sets, so I decided to add one in red, and I went with the blue roof. I didn't go with dark blue because I thought it would be too much considering the black of the tree, so I decided to go with a normal blue. This is sitting on an hinge, and then I also added a few slopes, a little bit of interesting details. These are also rollerblade pieces to give a little bit of more castle look to that. Now, the tree, the structure is building up with these wedge bricks first, and then I added a little bit of slopes and arches everywhere to create the different branches. To make it a little bit more interesting, of course, not from the back, but from the front, I decided to add an hinge here. So actually this one is on an hinge. So it's the only part of the tree that is actually inclined forward, while the rest is flat, like most of this classic set, but at least this one gives a little bit of variety. I also decided to add another minifigurette over here. This is also from these classic castle themes, this knight helmet, that I thought it looked okay if putting this at the right angle as a part of the tree, and I think it worked out pretty well. Two more minifigurette that I use are actually still from that forest elf. Let me see if I can take one off. So actually this is the headgear of the forest elf, this acorn, that I decided to use as an actual acorn. So I have two of these because I got two of those minifigures that I connect at the bottom of the leaves, and I think the effect is pretty good. They are a bit oversized, but I think it has a nice effect. Now, since I pick up this, I can also show you how I build this. So for example, here I use two of the big leaf pieces in different colors and one small one. I added some of these small leaf. Here we have a mix of different colors. Then in some of those, I went through with this three-sided leaf, and also with this little part that can go at the bottom. This is to make it a little bit more interesting, and also to make it look a little bit like in Dagobah, where we actually have some green stuff coming off a little bit lower. So adding this, instead of facing up but facing down, I added a little bit of that effect with something that continue falling down from the leaves. Maybe I can show you this one to have a better idea. So this is just one big leaf, and then all the other details and little flower, everything in different different shades of green. So guys, here it is. Let me know what you think, guys, about this build. You can find now on the channel the complete series of all my 6 builds that I made for Vignweek 2022. If you haven't checked them out yet, please do it. Leave a comment, leave a like, and subscribe to the channel to support the channel. It's always very, very important. Anyway, guys, let me know, guys, what you think about it. This was actually the one that I was the most happy with the contest, that I ended up finishing, if I'm not wrong, in 14th place out of 69, which I'm fairly happy with considering the first time I participate. But anyway, it was not about winning, it was not about prizes. most importantly, I build a lot, and the more we build, the better we get. And I also learn a lot by looking at the great other builders that participate to the contest. So I highly recommend anybody to participate, not just to Vignweek, but to all the contests that you can find online with Lego. It will really help you to give you motivation to build and to learn new techniques. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Ciao, ciao!